you for the great introduction. Really appreciate. So, hi everyone, hope you can hear me good. I'm Ludovico, and thank you for joining this session. So, before starting, let me introduce myself. I'm Ludovico, nice to meet you. I'm currently working as a senior test engineer at Nearform, also SciTech ambassador, proud to be. And also Grafana and Browser Stack champion. I've co-founded in the years different startups in the tech field, and I like to contribute in the open source, mainly in the educational field. I have some passions like cars, animals, and video games. As well, I love communities, and I'm organizer of Coding Bunker, an Italian local community. And as well, from about 2 months, I'm also co-organizing the Ministry of Testing Milan. So, 2 words about my company. Nearform is an Irish company that works all remotely. We work all remotely and works with big companies and also governments ones. If you want to learn more about our work, because we love open source and doing it, you can check out the website or contact me directly. So, before starting, I want to ask you one question. How many times you have heard AI? Raise your hands for the local ones so I can see you. How many times? A lot, right? So your face now, because this is an AI talk, maybe like this, right? So your face now, because this is an AI talk, maybe like this. And I can understand you because during the years now, we heard AI like this, right? So this is the amount of time we hear the AI every day, every week, every month, right? So I know, but today maybe I can give you some advices and tools to use it in the best way. So a question, do you use ChatGPT Copilot when doing testing? Please raise your hand if you do it. Okay. And another question is, have you already introduced AI in your QA processes? Raise your hand. Okay, lower. So in fact, since we received the report from TestRail, the answer to this question is that 75% of QA teams have already integrated AI into their processes. So I'm really curious to see how, but since we see the data, this is the percentage. And also, I've seen the State of AI report. The 82% of AI for code generation is using AI. Also, 69% say less than 25% of code is AI made because they want to use the humans to check if the quality is good. Thanks God. And also 46% use AI tools multiple times a day. So, for sure, the job market is changing too. Because in LinkedIn, this is a simple job position, you will start seeing that now AI is a skill needed in the QA roles. And also they started inventing new job positions. So we have this AI quality assurance, Gen AI quality assurance. So let's say the industry is changing as well. And also, we see these fantastic tools I've tried out already that is coming out after the Google I/O that essentially, with a simple prompt connecting an already created project, so you open GitHub or GitLab, you connect it, you connect a repository, you start in prompting, and it's starting creating for you all the stuff that is needed to make a PR. And after that, you will see this comment right here that essentially will tells you that the PR is ready and you can publish the branch. And as well, it tells you what are the steps that he has done. So this is really amazing because I know that we're still using Copilot or ChatGPT or an integrated IDE like Cursor, but this tool really amazed me because you can actually let the AI know what are your way of doing the code and also the project. So he learns from the project itself. And so now you think that I think that you are more happy to see something like this. But let's see some of the risks and challenges of the AI in QA. So for sure, also seeing the test rate report, 54 of the teams are unsure about the benefits the AI can bring, because yeah, we can know that AI seems to work in some presentation, in some of the products that we see online, but for sure, when we try it out, the AI hallucinates a lot most of the time. So most of the teams are not sure if AI can bring value or not. Also, there are privacy concerns because they are worried about the data. So when you put some data inside the AI, where this data goes, and if you have let's say a security application and you need to maintain the security, you can put just everything in the AI, right? So this is another concern. Also, again, as we said earlier, there is a lack of context because most of the times, if we can give the context to the AI, the answers are inaccurate or incomplete. Most of the times, if we ask to create code generation, AI invent libraries that doesn't exist at all, also give us some bad responses, because it's hard to AI to understand the context if we don't give to the AI the right one, because essentially it's trained on millions and millions and millions of data. And so if he understood a word like another one, he can give us the wrong outputs. So always review outputs and complement them with your expertise. The human expertise is going to be the most required skill, in my opinion, to validate the output. Also, prompt quality will affect the output because prompts is how we can say to the AI what it needs to do and what are the outcomes that it needs to produce. So essentially, if we change just a simple word in our prompt, the output will change. Okay. So it is important to know that also the amounts of retries that we do in our AI tools can change the output as well. So if we do a zero-shot prompt, will change, let's say, in another hand, if we do multiple shots and we train the AI to understand what we need to do. Also, let's say this is a really great problem because AI most of the times is used by students or junior people, also senior ones, but I want to just make my talks public. So if a junior one that doesn't have the expertise to say that if the output is great or not, use AI, and this output is convincing, the problem is that most of the professionals and the students will learn something that is wrong. So this is really important to create. I have done a talk talking like this, maybe using DeepEval if you want a tool, the outputs that we have every time with also a manual check. Also, we have some tool opacity because most of the tools that we see in the market says that they can do everything, they handle data in the best way, but in fact, when you see all not all, but some of the main tools that are on the market, most of the times the data aren't really secure. So before using a tool in production on your company, try to give it to the security team, because will be important to know where the data is stored if it's a sensitive project. Okay, so don't forget about security. So now you are thinking that maybe AI is not the right choice, right? So why you need to integrate AI in QA? So the goal is, in my opinion, to not replace QA as most of the people in the market thinks, because we heard like you need to use AI because we want to cut all the manual tester. We need to use AI because we need to cut testing at all, because every time is considered as a cost. In my opinion, the goal isn't to replace QA, but to enhance it so we can automate more faster the repetitive task And also we can, for example, if we think about logs, we can use it for read them much faster and to give us a summary, and also to, let's say, suggest us how we can fix the problem. Also, in my opinion, can improve the collaboration, because the most important thing when using AI is that essentially that everyone now can do something different. We are now somehow designers, somehow developers, somehow different roles. We gain different roles thanks to the AI. For sure, we need the human expertise, but with these different new skills that we can upgrade using AI, we can for sure talk better also with different roles. And also reduce the release time and assist the bug triaging, because we can use AI to improve and speed up the bug uploading process and bug triaging as well. So how do I integrate it? So now let's study a bit. And these, in my opinion, are the 5 essential skills for an AI-ready QA engineer or team. So first of all, we have prompt engineering. So we can move to data literacy, automation framework that can be Playwright, Cypress, WebDriver, etc. Some foundation of machine learning, because we can't use AI without knowing what is AI. So I don't want to say that you need to become an AI engineer, but it's great to know which are the fundamentals of these technologies. So the tokens, the context, the RAG, all these kinds of concepts. And also we have observability. So let's see them in depth. So prompt engineering, again, is the skill that gives you, in my opinion, the highest immediate ROI. So if you learn how to create prompts and maybe to manage them, to create versions of them, you will see that all the output that you got will become, let's say, during the time, much more better. Also, you will have data literacy. So let's say we need to know that it's important to know that data needs to be good. We will see and hear a lot about data, because in fact, if we want to let the LLM perform good, we need the great data, we need great benchmarks, we need great context. So data and also data fine-tuning as well is important concept, because can make difference. Also, we move to automation framework, because it's great to use AI to generate code, but as well, if you don't know how these frameworks works, will be a problem, because essentially, as I told you before, if something is generated from AI and you don't have the human expertise to validate it, you essentially trust AI, and sometimes it's not the best choice. Also, about foundation machine learning is okay. I already told it. And observability, because it's great to know the concepts about observability, because every time, not just because you will need it for taking logs or because you want to create some dashboards with the traditional approach, but observability in general is important, because you can check if your model is great or not, and also if the outcomes are great or not. So now let's reflect. Let's think about the traditional software development lifecycle that give us essentially the activities that are carried out in each phase. So what I think is that we need to understand for each phase which are the activities. So for example, design, you will receive a design, you will have the activity to review the design, and we already start thinking about maybe visual test. And then we will have the implementation. So the user stories are translated into code. And we started thinking already about doing the shift left, the unit test inside our code, and etc. So it's important to know which are the activities in each phase. And this is the testing pyramid that I think all of you knows. And this gives us, also this is another type of pyramid that I really appreciate more than the other one, but this gives us the type of tests that are included in the testing phase. So it's important here to understand the type of activities, the activities itself, and the type of test. And with them, we can look for the tools. So knowing which are the activities and knowing which are the type of tests that we need to do, we can start looking at the tools. And so now we can become the, let's say, cat gadget. So these are some of the tools that I use mainly for improving my testing processes and testing activities using AI. So not let's say not really every of these tools is an AI tool, but you can combine AI with these tools. Okay, we will have, for example, ChatGPT that every one of you knows, Copilot, Applitools, Maestro, and many more. So I know you are thinking this now because it's difficult to see a lot of tools and say which one do I need to use. So in my opinion, just to give you some advices, since I'm a BrowserStack champion and I know BrowserStack, BrowserStack give you a lot of great AI integrations. For example, if we think about test case creation, that essentially will help you out during the test planning and creation phase. This because will autofill you data, will help you if you miss, for example, some tests, and will remember the context that again is important. This is Copilot. That essentially is great because it allows you to create test cases and also code inside your IDE or your editor. This is my opinion is great. They have created a lot of them, but it's great because for a developer or a test automation engineer, it's great to don't lose the focus. So not switch around ChatGPT, UI and the code. So when you can, if you can write your code and get the responses directly in the editor on the IDE, you will be more productive in my opinion. And this is a simple prompt that, is nothing really difficult to create, but in my opinion, this will give you the following results. So this is really easy. It's like I said before, will give you the highest immediate ROI because with this prompt, you can input this image directly in the ChatGPT on whatever you want to use. And after importing it, it will create in the given when then format with this table that you can export all the test cases. Okay, so this is a simple example how that you can use just prompt engineering and not all the skills that I mentioned before to get the highest immediate result. And this, I don't want to say that is the best practice, but will help you if you, for example, want to check if you missed something, if you want to review your test, and you can also add your already written test to the input to let the AI upload and increase the test coverage. This is another example. For example, you can use auto playwright, sorry for the Italian, but essentially will allows you to, with this auto method here, to, let's say, use playwright methods without knowing them and just using the plain English or another language to create essentially the test. In my opinion, are great for someone that needs to learn playwright yet, but if you already know playwright, it's important to not use this approach, in my opinion, because it's better to use the already known methods. So some best practice and strategies in action. So I've divided this in different phases. So let's start with the first one. So the first one is to get the requirements. So you as a test engineer, as a developer will have some requirements, right? And it's important to check them. So you can use actually the AI with some prompts for checking some typos. Maybe you will get some text to put in the front end. You can check if the text is good, check some ambiguities. And also you can have some doubts about the requirements that you get. So you can also ask AI to give you some more questions to ask to understand better what you need to do. also you will have this kind of output that can increase your productivity. Also, we will have, and we can use the user personas generation task to create for every kind of user story the user personas that maybe are needed for that particular user story. For example, if we heard before about accessibility, it's important to also include and generate different types of user personas that have different needs. So using LLM, if you don't have maybe the right skills yet, or if you want to explore more and improve the user personas coverage, you can use LLM to identify possible risk and improve the exploratory testing. Phase 2, you can use LLM Notebook, that is a Google product that I really appreciate, to use essentially the RAG. So it will hallucinate a lot less, because essentially you can upload a PDF file or some files like Markdown ones, etc. And it will try to assert these documents to check if your request is inside these documents. Okay, so this is really great because allows you, for example, if you export all of the user stories or all of the context of your application and you want to access them, to do the question on the document. So Others AI, when doing this, again, hallucinate and can give you the bad output. Also, browser stack test management, as I said before, can help you with the coverage. So phase 3, we can have and we can use UI comparison. So we can use AI to check, for example, using different screenshot, if a build compared to a different one have some changes. And this is important also for accessibility, because if a color is changed, or also a text dimension, so a font dimension, can cause problems. Also the tab areas. So if we think about the mobile, the tab areas in some text are really important, because you can have a small font size text that have an area, and if this tab area is really small, you can't click that. So it's important. And also we can use AI to code and automate stuff. So what I suggest and what is my, let's say, approach to this is to create custom GPTs trained on the official docs. So this is my personal method. I never seen this online, but it's something that I've thinked and tried, and this is working. So instead of relying just on the simple prompts inside my AI, for every tools that I choose, so for example, I want to use Playwright, I want to use Cypress, I want to use every other tool, I take the official documentation, paste it in my context, create these custom GPTs, and I, for sure, let's say, I be sure that these outputs, when needed and asked, will use the latest version of my software. And this is really important, because it will not create some fancy, not existent methods of libraries. So if you want to try it, or do you have question about this, feel free to contact me. And also, using AI, it's much more easier to manage page objects, locator, and many other stuff. So phase 4, so CI, we can use AI also for checking, for example, using SonarQube and other tools, if there are some problems in our code. And this is really easy, because you can add it, implement some really simple CIs, and will give you all the possible problems that your code may have. And this add, let's say, another gate to improve the overall quality. Also, you can use AI combined with the latest protocol MCP to create really good stuff, because with the MCP you can integrate your browsers, your local environment, or other softwares. Like I want to make an example that is not really about testing, but you can connect it with Blender, for example, or Ableton. Yep.
Yeah, are you okay to sort of wrap up soon, please.
Sorry?
So are you okay to sort of wrap up?
Yeah, sure. So, in fact, just to be really more fast, you can also fill the bugs with the AI. Okay, let's skip. So how you can learn AI? It's really easy because there are a lot of resources around there. So Elements of AI, it's a great one. You can use it also web dev and explore skill builders by AWS. And also I suggest you these 3 books that are really great, in my opinion. The first one on the left is really great. So try to give it a read. And also how the testing is evolving with the AI, you will find out in the state of software quality report that I really appreciated. So just 3 takeaways. AI is an ally, not a shortcut. So use it like that. Also starts with small and miserable experiments without thinking that with AI you can do everything in just 1 day. And also value comes from the context, so it's important to give the right context to the AI and to ask the right questions. So thank you very much for the attention. I don't know if there are some questions.
Yes, we've got some questions, but first of all, I'd like everybody, both online and in this room, to give a big hand to Ludo Vico, please. Are people okay to reach out to you afterwards if they've got any further questions as well?
Someone asked about the books. I've seen in the chat.
What are the books you recommend, please?
Yeah, these are the books. So if you want to do a screenshot or a photo, you can do it.
So if anyone wants to take a screenshot, now's a chance.
Exactly. So just to quick and summarize, you can find out many more resources about AI-powered testing and creating lists and some more resources in my GitHub. So if you want to follow or just see my list, you can do it. And also, this is my news. I don't have now videos inside my channel, but I will start creating some contents around this in my also YouTube channel, and you can find it here. But again, thank you for having me, and I was really happy about the session, so really appreciate you.